Okay, I don't know if this is on yet. I'll find out if this works. Does not seem to be streaming anything. Oh, wait. Aha, you're on. Looks like we're streaming live on YouTube. Okay. That's a 1. A 2. And we have 1 on Twitch. Yay, okay. So, I've been wondering how to do this for a while. I'm using a thing called Restream.io, which allows you to take a few things and a few different streams and restream onto them. It's pretty straightforward. You just basically sign up with the Restream.io, and then you can add your Twitch stream and your YouTube stream and a Ustream. So I've got all 3 of those, I think, working right now. I haven't actually checked the Ustream, but we'll check that later. Alright, well, without further ado, I'm going to start a little impromptu sculpting. We'll be following up on more of this tomorrow. Let me see how we're doing with the imagery. I got so many things going on in this little window over here. I almost need like another monitor for it all. Not that you really need to see my head inside the thing, but cute. Alright. So I turned off my well, you can't hear what I'm listening to. I'm listening to Morphine right now. If follow along, I think you might be able to see what I'm listening to if you friend me on Spotify. You can watch my playlist that way. Anyway, I'm going to bring up last night's little model. Oh, wait. Okay, let's get that up and running. So welcome to the Twitch stream. I'm going to try to be more professional as I go. And let's see, the last, yeah, confirm. Okay, well, here she is. Alright, well, that was kind of a elongated model from last night. Alright, let me attend to whoever is messaging me at the moment. Oh, I am following, I have both Twitch and YouTube live streaming / messaging thing. So if you want to ask me any questions or give me any like prompts, feel free to type away in there. Like and subscribe to whatever your poison is. Alright, I gotta get back to her later. Alright. Let's turn on our... Actually, let me pull that. Alright, I have the ability to see things, my peripheral vision, so should be able to pick that up. Cool, okay, I can look at the internet up there. You can't see that, but I can see it. Let's play around with some proportion stuff here real quick. Oof. Oh man, my hands are so not wanting to. What's up, kitty? Oh, you know what? I need to go scale it up, maybe. There we go. I keep forgetting that I'm working like differently, or I need to start working differently than I used to, because this whole VR thing is a whole nother world. Like I forget to scale up, which would be like zooming in. Hi, kitty. I hear you there. I don't know where you are, but I can hear you. Yeah, actually this is much better for, I don't know why I wasn't doing this last night. Like just zoom in a little bit and got a lot of control. What's wrong there? What are you up to over there, cat? You're getting in trouble again. This is really like working with clay. Alright, okay, like still needs to be elongated a bit. Cool. this is where the problem will actually. Well, I should have not done that. Alright. Yeah, actually I need to, oops, not that. Before I cut it, unfortunately I can't like mirror properly if I separate those two. I don't want to finish the feet. Oh, it'll cut crappy action now that I'm looking at them. So, yeah. My voice is still a little raspy, but it's gotten better. Got a shoe, and there's a whole friggin' leg. Alright, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna even go with this. It's a whole leg. Although it would actually be good to just check it out real quick, just to look for. I can't get it big enough. Yeah. Alright. Actually, I think I might actually have a pretty good. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, the legs aren't. This leg isn't big enough to actually give me an idea. But actually, you know, looking at it, I think I'm doing a good job of. I mean, the scale is close enough, so I'll just work with it. Actually, if I finish this up tonight, I can start on something completely new tomorrow. Oops. That little patella going here. So fine patella action. Oops. Yeah. Oh, that's gravy. Alright, so now that we've been screwing around with this for a while, I should probably start talking. I've forgotten that there's no music and there's nobody here talking to me right now, so I should probably fill in with other content other than, hey, he's just working on something. That's not interesting to watch, right? Or listen to. So, what could I talk about? Well, one of the things I was thinking about talking about was I just listened to these really cool guys out of California. They're called 3D Printing Today, and they have all kinds of like really good just background and deep research or deep diving on topics having to do with 3D printing. And usually, I mean, everything that they come up with when it comes to SLA and FDM printing is pretty much spot on. So I tend to go and defer to their ideas, because every time they bring up stuff that I'm like, oh shit, that's how you do that? And I try it out and it actually works. I was like, wow, that's really cool. So I was just listening to a recent podcast of theirs, and they were talking about FDM printing. And I think they might have the prices wrong on something like the J750, which is a polyjet printing printer. So to give you an idea of what a polyjet printer is, it allows you to jet material in, similar to how a regular inkjet printer, your home 2D inkjet printer works. Except this printer has a pattern that you build on, so it's like a sort of an area, and the area that you build on is you can go very small, like 0.016 millimeter dots. And so there are 4 nozzles in this machine, and it has access to 8 different material types. One of those material types is a dissolvable material. Okay, so then you have CYMK, and you have other things like white. I can't remember the actual Stratasys name for all this stuff, but it's really cool. I mean, you can basically take this model and fully colorize it, print it out in full color in plastic. You can also print it out in clear, or somewhere between clear and full white or full black. Now the black that they have is actually not for doing color on it, but it's for making things rubbery. You also have the ability to do things clear and rubbery. So you can blend between plastic and rubbery, getting extremely, essentially I think it's like 20 duometer. I don't remember what the shoulder hardness is, but that's how you rate things like softness. And the upshot of that is like, if I had this object and say I were to, I'm hearing myself as I read. Alright, so like, let's say I want to spray, hold on here. I'm going to spray this. Okay, so normally, if I were to send this to a 3D printer, I would have to make sure that there was a UV map applied to the object, and that UV map is like basically like wrapping paper that you wrap around the surface of the object. and there are like folding points where you have to make sure that that there are seams essentially where everything has to sort of be looking good, especially on a game character. You want to lay that out really nicely. But for 3D printing, it's usually not that important. However, that is the old-fashioned way of doing things in color and or other types of materials. So this is completely a different world than FDM, fused deposition modeling, or whatever. FFF, I think, is what that's the non-Kleenex version of that word. But it's essentially that would be a nozzle with some filament, and it gets hot, and it does it layer by layer. But this type of printing, usually if you're doing color, there's only one other 3D printer that you can do color in right now that actually is a fused filament type, and that's from XYZ. We have one at work actually. It did have some trouble with the reservoirs that they sent us of ink, but essentially what it does is it lays down a layer, and then it sprays that layer with basically different colors out of the nozzle, and then it moves on to the next layer, and it sprays just like a regular 2D printer. Unfortunately, the filament that they have right now that comes with the printer is PLA that is clear, so I don't know why they picked clear. They should have picked white, but I don't know. It's very strange. But you can't buy any other filament from them, and I've tried running some HDPLA through it, and it didn't like that. Actually, my friend Andrew, who works at the IST, tried it, and unfortunately everything is chipped, so they're trying to like do that walled garden bullshit. Anyway, back to this type of 3D printing that we're currently discussing, which is voxel printing. So voxel printing can be done in different methods. One is selective layer sintering. That's the old-fashioned way. That basically says, all right, I got a model. It is it's going to mostly be white on the inside. We'll try to be hollow if we can. Usually they make it out of like plastics or sandstone, but it sinters it together usually by just adding a binder like crazy glue. That's cyanoacrylate. And then they, in the liquid of the glue, they also apply on the outside of the object a texture, and that texture is a CYMK on top of the white, which is the underlying substrate of the object. So that's how we do it normally with an S-style printer, selective layer sintering. So now the other type is the polyjet printing, where basically you can spray on, wait, I got ahead of myself. So you can lay down like little globs of clay. Oops. You can lay down little tiny blobs of liquid that are right next to each other. Okay? You can change whatever color they are. Like inside each other. And basically, what you can do is almost like pointillism. You can, on almost a molecular, not a molecular, it's a very nano, very small level, like 0.016 millimeter level. So you can basically form an object out of all the materials that are available in the machine. And I'm going to get to that later. That's a really cool thing. You can do all kinds of really cool stuff with this object if the object is a voxel object. So normally when we work in a video game, we have a shell, an outer portion, and there's a texture applied to the shell. But the actual inner part of the model is hollow, like completely hollow. Like this is like a two-dimensional surface. Okay, so the reason why I'm explaining this in this particular artist tool is because Oculus Medium works in voxels. So instead of, if I were to cut into this, instead of it would just be like a shell under normal modeling, if I cut in here, you'll see that there's actually a thickness all the way through it, which is ideal for 3D printing using a voxel printing system. So voxels basically say, all right, I'm going to go in here, and inside here I want to make sure that these, as I'm going to grow these things, let's like that, and we'll change the color to some other color. Maybe make it purple. All right, and inside here, I'm going to make that purple. So that's purple, not just where you saw it there, like on the outside of it, but if I were to cut through again, Yes. It is all the way through. Okay? So now you might be getting an idea of why voxel printing is so cool. Because once we start actually getting the ability to create our models in voxels, we can create structures that have been unlike. So we can make structures that have never been created before. Like humans were not able to do this kind of thing. I mean, it could by molding things together, but you couldn't get shapes to interlock like that. Because this would be impossible to mold and then insert into an object without having to cut some holes around it. Because this is like a mold locked object. You wouldn't be able to get that, put this in here and inject it in without having some kind of opening over here to pull apart. Alright, so enough of that. So basically that's why voxel printing is really fucking cool, because you can essentially create working structures, say like a running shoe or a prosthetic, that has inside it all kinds of mechanical properties that you currently can't do in any other manufacturing process. You could put springs in it, you could layer rubber into it, you could put sensors throughout. And I'm talking about stuff that is going to be coming very soon. So we have one of these at work, the J750, and I'm very happy, very proud of our program there. The PD3D lab is awesome, and I'm really happy to work with Jack. I'm very lucky to get a chance to work with all this stuff, because it's some really new cutting edge shit. I mean, this is really big. If we can print, like, I'm not just talking fine art here, if we can print a model that has everything inside it, we could print a house with the insulation, with the conduits, with everything already made, already embedded in the thing. All you need to do is get the liquids and have them cure on site. I mean, we're talking like building the whole house in a day, you know, with everything already run inside, pipes and everything. I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but that's just the beginning. I mean, really what we can do is I can make a sculpture like this, but it's not just a sculpture. I could put muscles in here. I could put bones in here that interlock, and I could make a whole powering system with sensors and a methodology of adding transistors to it and batteries, which you can do 3D printing of all of that stuff I just mentioned. It's all like research stuff right now. But what I'm talking about is basically we model it, we can simulate it in a computer to see how it runs, and then we can print it out. So isn't that awesome? This is like, we are on the precipice. We are standing on the shoulders of giants, you know? And it's really awesome. I mean, I am really fucking excited about this stuff, and I hope you guys are too. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to sculpting, but feel free to talk to me up there in the chat. There's somebody here. Nobody comes to the chat anymore. It's all right. I just have to do enough of these, and maybe you know what? I think I might actually have to advertise or some shit like that, because I don't know. I can hear myself talking in the background. I'm gonna turn off one of those things. Yeah. Well, damn it. I just found out that I am streaming live with my audio for the music was actually turned on still, which I forgot to turn it off. Oh well. Rookie mistake. Sorry. I might be able to fix that later, but so aggravating with these fucking... Like, it basically, if you have one song that it hears, that it picks up actively, you can shut down your whole operation. Alright. Back to work. Alright. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my LL explanation of voxel printing. And if you have any more questions about that stuff, oh, the reason why I brought that up originally was because they were talking about support material, and support material, you basically have to have anything that's hollow or anything that's unsupported on a voxel print. Everything has to be 100% infill on the support. You can't just chintz out and go, oh, we only need it here. No, because everything, all the droplets, if they're going to be a droplet there has to be something supporting it. So you can do, I think you might be able to do sparse infill on support, but it's like really tiny. And but yeah, so other things about like the whole flow of a voxel print, or the system that I'm talking about, where you're able to work in a pixel. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. A voxel is a volumetric pixel. I forget. Sorry if I'm like using any kind of nomenclature that you don't understand, because there's nobody here right now, so I can't really get checked on that. But yeah, it's a problem. I've noticed that a lot of science communicators have trouble like continuing to connect with their people that are listening to them, because sometimes you get so steeped in your everyday words that you throw around that you're like, oh yeah, there's nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about. So I'm really sorry for that. I'm going to get better with that as I practice more talking to people. But yeah, oops, George. And that's actually, I really like doing sculpting and talking about things, so that's why I kind of miss having an audience. Because, I can get really jazzed about things, and I want to share, the cool things that are going on in the world out there. I'm like pretty disconnected from the video game world at this point, but I used to do video games for about 12 years, and unfortunately things had to change in that world, or for me anyway. But we won't get into that. Maybe I'll go back one day. But right now I'm having a great time. Bloop. Yeah, there's other options for this thing. Steady stroke and brush. I think I like that. Oh, maybe it's a steady stroke that's screwing it up. Alright, well, let's see. I'm going to go back and turn on her hair. Oops. Nope. Ah. Almost looks like it's starting to turn into the other mother from Coraline. Seen some button eyes. I was afraid to turn off the fucking, or turn on the active layer only. Alright, I meant to take a picture of the original sketch, and I forgot. So I gotta look in the actual sketchbook. Okay. So this one was sort of an ecstasy moment, and breathing on a nipple. So there's a male in this one, and he's kind of gently holding her in this sort of reclining chair thing. And I don't think that's actually showing up on camera at all. Oh, okay, it's showing up a little bit. So basically, she's going to be reclining, and the idea is that it's going to be just a few animated parts that are moving. So yeah, she looks kind of creepy right now. We'll fix that. All right. Oops. Come back here. Excuse me. I'll have to learn not to barf, belch on camera, because that's gross. Alright, I think I'm going to use a flat brush. Switch to some kind of flat thing. There we go. That looks good. So let's give ourselves some bangs. Okay. And then actually it's a little bit bigger. There we go. Alright, so I got some bangs, and now we're going to do like my favorite Eon Flux kind of. Actually, it's not really Eon Flux, because that would be like, oh, that might look cool. Alright, now we're going to go back over this with a bigger brush. Sort of flatten it back out. There we go. That reminds me I need to get a haircut. Alright, now I'm going to do some texturing to it. Just actually, I think I'm going to go higher res. Yeah. This way I'll get a little bit harsher cut, and let's start doing a block. I think a block might actually work good. I can use the edge of the block to go into the side. Or not. Alright, so I'm just going to follow the top of the hair up here. Oh, this color's a little blown up. Okay, there we go. Actually, I could go a little higher res. Let's try that. Oops. Nope. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely where like getting really big actually helps give you more control. It's not perfect, but I think I'll go back over this maybe in ZBrush or some other program. This is fun though. I'm sorry anybody who stopped by last night and checked out that stream because I was a little drunk and a little belligerent. I don't know. I was watching it today. I was like, oh man, it was a little rough on things, including myself. All right, let's fix up positioning. Actually, I'll make these bangs a little detailed. That's one thing. If I had an audience, I probably wouldn't have gone off the handle as much as I was going last night. I was definitely cursing like a sailor. Definitely fun, like just concepting out the character. Alright, this neck has really been bothering me, so I'm gonna, not my neck, but her neck is not looking good, so I need to fix that. Okay. Nope. Actually, zoom out. I'm going to turn off the hair and work on it without the hair. Okay. I think I'll actually add a new layer for details like the eyes and stuff like that because it's starting to get to me. She doesn't have any eyes. Blech. That's gross. What's up, cat? Here, fucking all right. Nah, come on, dude. I know, you want attention. We'll give you some of that later. Unfortunately, we have to do this right now. I know. I'm at your beck and call. Oh god. What are you doing? Oh god, this looks awful. Why am I not doing these eyes right? I don't know. Okay, I think I know what it is. The actual eye sockets are way too big. Or maybe. I don't know. Let's go check that out. Check out that theory. Wait, no, what was that? Okay. Should have brought that ear into this program. I made an ear in ZBrush for just basically just adding a human ear to something. Okay, that's not quite there yet, but it's gotta go better. Alright, let's go and try to put an ear somewhere. Do we have ears? Oh, we do have an ear. Okay. I'm not really ready to put the ear on yet, actually. Actually, that's a pretty nice ear. Alright. That's just an ear for temporary. Yeah, her mouth is still it's an issue. There's an issue with the mouth here. Let's fix that one. She's looking very gaunt. Fix that. Right. Oops. There we go, it's looking a little better. let's increase res a little bit. Nah. What happened here? I don't remember. No, I did model that. Right. Oops. Metal. Oh, cool. Oh, I didn't know I had that ability. Holy shit. Whoa! Oh, I could have... Oh, man, I did not know that. Alright, well, that's pretty cool. So, my ghost mask that I was working on, I kind of actually been working on it in like a Chrome. That's pretty sweet. Alright, I think I'm going to start cutting this up and working on individual pieces so it's actually not looking like she's falling backwards. And I should actually save this before I do that. Okay. Alright, I'll check back over here on my alright. So let's cut. I think her legs are kind of actually, I'm going to cut here. And that way the lower part of her torso can be manipulated, rotated. And okay, so we got arms separated, torsos and neck are all in piece. Alright, let's see, turn off our turn off the mirror. Looks to me like some of this didn't work. Oh, none of it worked. I was on the wrong layer. Derp. It's just like Photoshop where you do all kinds of stuff and you're on the wrong layer. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, let's see. Did we do that? No, it didn't work. What the hell? That's the right layer. Oh. Maybe I have to have it selected like that. No. There. I don't know. It's weird. Maybe I can't do a round thing? Aha, that worked. Alright, let's try that on. Ooh. Okay. Cool, cool. That's about right. That's about accurate to the picture. And let's Alright, so what do we have here? Yes. Now I find out that our proportions were off. That's usually the time we figure that out is when we start posing the character. Not sure actually. Oh, that definitely doesn't look right. We're gonna fix that. Alright, I'm going to get out of this mode and go back to cutting. Sorry, I keep looking off to the side to actually look at my old sketch. I think her breast is actually being pushed up by her own arm. Okay, that's what it is. It's in the crook of her. It's like that. Anything more, I think I need to go to ZBrush for that, so I'll just get to posing her. Let's see here. Look into. I don't know where her other arm went. Oh, I guess it must be just laying by her side. Fancy couch. There we go. Weird. I was not expecting that to happen. Oops. Subtly placing her hand on the leg of the other person. I think. And actually, I think I'm going to change her head position because it looks very very inappropriate actually for this emotion. She should be looking knowingly at him, doing what he's going to do. Yeah. So let's grab. There's a way of temporarily attaching two layers at the same time. Here's a head. Alright, I want to select all these layers at the same time, but I don't know how. Other than obviously attaching them all to each other, which I don't want to do. Alright, I'm just going to have to be... Oh, okay, that worked. Great. It's a start. It's not there yet. Alright, I think it was a successful little modeling session there. I'm going to save this girl out. Actually, maybe I'll just block in a quick male character. Or maybe I should actually name all these damn layers. Alright, face. Alright. Well, I guess I'll just end my session tonight because I'm just like filling out stuff that's really boring to watch. Alright guys, thanks for stopping by, checking out my live stream. So every Monday, I'm on the regular trying to do live streaming sculpture sessions about 1 hour. And if you have any questions about modeling in 3D or modeling in virtual reality, please feel free to drop me a line. Email me at jim@unicronstudios.com. I'll get the email that way. And like and subscribe to my Twitch or YouTube stream, whatever you're watching. And hope to see you live next time, which will be tomorrow around 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Alright guys, thanks for stopping by. Oot. Alright, let's see, where's the to save as cool. Really glad I saw this new Chrome feature. That's cool. Going way away from the camera. Oh. Not that it matters. Good night, everybody.